Last thing.
All right, it is 6 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the October 10th City of Chattahoochee Hills Parks Commission. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next item is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on September 12th. Can I get a motion and a second?
I so move to approve the minutes.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the September 12th regular meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, that carries unanimously. We have no presentations. Next items for discussion, and the first item is Cockrell Mill Park app, and that's Pat Lesko.
So, I don't even remember the date, but at the end of September, it was Roland and Birgit and I hiked the Green Trail in Cockrell Mill Park, and I used the app. And, I don't know how I did it actually, but I was at the park and I found the website and I got the app. I can't remember if I downloaded it or if I just used it. But anyway, I saw the little blue dot that was me, says you, followed me around as we did the trails. So that was good. And you could click on some of the green, whatever you call those,
The wayfinders.
the wayfinder points, and it would say you're like at G such and stuff.
Oh,
So that was all good. And I noticed there's like some extraneous lines on the orange trail. There's like lines that aren't part of the trail. And there's a segment missing. One segment on the green trail was missing. I don't know who fixes that, if it's us.
I sent it to Kane. I
Okay.
sent him the, about 3 weeks
Wonderful.
ago. Yeah, right after that. So he said he
Okay,
was gonna
excellent.
fix it.
Anyway, so I was pretty pleased. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, good.
So,
Yep, and they did seem to line up when you got
Mhm,
near one
mhm.
of those, you could see the little,
mhm.
they popped up, so the way.
Excellent. Has anybody else had a chance to use that app in the park? We need to test it on all the trails, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to finish up.
We should, yeah.
Okay, I understand it may work better if you download it when you're at home rather than waiting until you get there.
Correct.
So try to remember to do that. All right, do we have anything else about the new app for Cockrell Mill Park?
The only thing I have to add is I need to I had planned to print out the map. We need to put the big map in the kiosk.
And you
so-
can get that done for us.
Yes, I
That
can
would
do it
be
at my
excellent.
office will
That would
print
be
it pro
great.
bono.
Oh,
So they
wonderful.
said they would. So,
Wonderful.
yep.
Thank you, Roland. All right, next item is the Riverlands Park grant application. Pat, let's go.
Yes, we've all been working feverishly on this. So we had a Parks Commission working session on September 22nd, and we assigned tasks for all the different items in the grant application. Hopefully, we were going to have drafts done by last Saturday, but pretty much, I think we're all on track. But anyway, what I think maybe we should do now, one more thing. We have another work session scheduled. I hope it's on everyone's calendar for October 20th. Again, here at City Hall. I think it was 8 to 10 again, is that?
Let me double check.
8 to 10 on the 20th. And I looked online and we have 22 days to get everything in. So, yes, don't we all work better under
22
pressure?
total, not 22 till the 20th,
No, 22 till the grants
the
due.
absolute deadline.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we have 10 days till the 20th,
10
yeah,
days.
10
Oh
days.
my gosh.
But anyway, so, that'll be a time if there's any issues, we can get on it and get it done in the next 12 days after that.
What was the time of that again?
It was 8 to 10
8 to 10.
here, like we did last time.
And we'll have early voting in this room, but you should
Okay.
be able to use the art room.
The art room.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll meet in the art room.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
confirm with Judy Walker, but it should be fine.
yeah, I doubt they'll be using it from 8 to 10. Anyway, so what I'd like to do, and I gave everyone a piece of paper that has, from the email, it says, Dear Parks Commission, here's the tasks and timeline we agreed to. And just go through everything and see how people are coming, and if anybody needs help with anything, or they think it's done, what have you, if that's okay with everyone. Yes, all right. So, the first thing is compliance, and it's done. Yay.
Yay.
So then we go to criterion number 1, that's for the grant application. What it is project scope. So that's a narrative about the scope of the project. And then the site plan.
That's finished, right? The last version?
The last version, there's a few typos, but
Is
yes.
that typo?
Yeah, well, a few naming things.
Oh, okay.
I mean, nothing serious,
Okay.
but, and it's very good.
It's
Okay.
excellent.
It's
Yeah, you
really
did an
good.
Amazing job.
So I offered to do the project scope, and I'll get that done, and then I'll go over it with you,
Yeah.
because I know Clifford's busy. So,
That'd be great.
anyway, I think we're in good shape.
I'm
for that.
happy to look it over once, if that would help
Oh,
at all.
absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm busy, but not like tied up in a tree or something. So, hello, by the way, I feel like I'm dead. I'm looking down on all of you, kind of.
Oh, there
hovering
you
over
are.
the- Well, there I am. Yes. It's a very strange feeling to be kind of hovering up in the air somewhere near the ceiling.
Okay, so that one's good. Criterion two is project planning.
That's
and
mine, and
Chris,
That's mine. I will have it in the Dropbox later tonight.
okay,
awesome.
great,
Yes, I've just been so busy with everything, but I'll have the first draft of that tonight.
good. So we can all look at it and
When you wake up.
give
Oh, boy.
feedback and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll finalize it on the 20th. Thank you. That's great.
Coffee with Chris Jones. Morning.
So along these lines, I think we also need to get a handle on permits. What permits we might need, if any. You mentioned something, Roland, about MRSA or
Oh, the
MRPA.
MRPA.
Yeah, whether, I don't know how to find out whether we need a permit.
I think one thing we can do is ask TPL,
Okay.
because maybe, I know they had to go through that process, and maybe
They've already
they
done
did it for a big area that would cover what we're doing.
Well, our trail is right
They-
near all the campsites and all.
That they may be covered.
Yeah,
So,
it could be.
so that's something for me to ask TPL.
Okay,
Yeah, if you can, and then we can, do we have to put that in the grant
Yeah,
that we do have?
well, it says, yes, it says, projects that have undergone a more advanced level of planning are more likely to be successfully built within the required 24 months. Describe your project planning to date. And that'll be some words, and I'll take a stab at that. And how this work will be completed, and what permits will be needed, and what permits have already been obtained.
Oh, so we
good.
would say that, yeah. it's
So
PPL.
that's kind of the blah, blah, blah. And then you upload the project timeline and the project cost estimate are both required, but I think the cost estimate may be in a different place.
would the city need any permits? Is there anything, Daryl, that we would have to do for the city?
Usually
Okay.
when, if it's a city project,
There's no
okay, good.
excavation other than just removing grass.
then you can do an overlay. When you do the whole, like you said, everything in one, do a whole overlay of the whole project.
Mhm.
One time thing, and then it'll be a permit, but it won't be a cost.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
It'll be permanent.
So
For
if,
the
if,
city,
if, some-
okay.
if safe build or something in the structure has to be inspected or whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And plus, if you do, like you said, get permits, everything, usually grants go a whole lot faster and get approved a whole lot faster if you do have all that ready for them.
Right, right.
So who do we talk to here about permits? Mike Morton?
And you just send them, yeah, Mike.
Whether we need it or.
I would get one anyway. I
Okay,
would go ahead and
Oh.
apply for a
okay, so
permit.
that would be good for the city.
Cause all it does is look better on that. And
Well-
plus you, if anything, you come into issue, Safebuilt will look at it. And if anything needs to be done, this would be no
We
cost
have a
because
site,
it's
we
city.
do have a site plan
you
already
go.
with the layout on it that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So we could submit
So,
that.
so
to the
I
city.
had sent an email to Mike asking for a
Okay.
couple things. One of them was who we could talk to ask about permits, but I haven't heard anything from him back. But who would we file? Dana, there's a permit clerk? Would we go to her?
You could check with Sandy Sargent.
Is that the
Yeah,
permit
yeah,
clerk?
she's
Yeah,
the
okay,
Permit, planning tech.
okay.
She may not be able to have an answer right away, but she can follow up with Mike.
Okay, so maybe just make an appointment, come see her, show her what we have and
You
say,
just call her.
just
Yeah,
call
yeah, I
her.
will.
Since you coming all the way up here for that. It's just gonna help you. Just call her and she'll pass everything like Dana said.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And so the only other thing is this MRSA thing. MRPA.
MRPA.
Well, let's don't have
That's the
that.
disease, right? MRPA. Yeah, I wrote it down. I
We
just,
already have a permit for TPL,
Yeah.
so.
so let's
I did
find
that.
out. Oh, that'd be
so
super.
that
I'll ask
disturb
staff.
use, I mean, they're doing a lot more than we would propose.
Okay,
So,
Correct.
The only thing that I could say for the permitting part for inspections would be the wooden structures, because there is a bridge, there's some decking in areas that you can't do the dirt part. So as part of the design, it's on the plan.
Mhm.
That would be part of safe build, I
Probably
guess,
so.
That or our engineer.
to look at it whenever it's the design of it. Okay.
I just
Maybe-
signed a contract with them.
Oh, they
to
finally got that?
protect
Good
the
deal.
bridge.
Good, cause we
Okay,
didn't
be
have
like a
one.
pedestrian
Good.
bridge.
good.
Okay, we've
Oh,
got at least
excellent.
one, or if not two in this, on the plan, so.
okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
Other permits, it's not necessary to do a permit to cross the gas line if it's on the surface, right? You're not digging through the,
You probably still need to notify them.
you have to notify them, is it a permit involved or?
Yeah, you probably, they'll,
Okay.
But again, so we
It's
could
TPL.
ask TPL. I mean, they're putting a road over the gas line.
yep. and-
What they did, how they
And our
did that.
trail is going beside that road over the
Mhm.
gas line next to it. So it would butt up against it and join it.
Mhm.
So I guess we'd have to find out. That'd be the only other permit that I would think. I don't think
Okay.
we need yeah, I think we're good. I think that's it. Trying to think, no, we're not going near the water. There's none of that. We're not removing trees. We're not doing anything.
Okay. Criterion number 3 is applicants are strongly encouraged to develop project applications that meet Georgia Trail priorities. So recreational trail development management issues identified at the statewide level will be given priorities. And the following criteria were developed by the Georgia DNR in consultation with the Georgia Trails Advisory Committee. I think. Water access projects, no. Other non-motorized trail projects, need for new trails connecting public places. Need for trail rehabilitation, restoration, need for more trail signs on new trails or existing trails. If this project will include additional signage, describe all new signage planned for this project, including at the trailheads and along the trail.
Yeah, we do.
So we'll have trailhead signage and directional
Some
signage
wayfinder
or,
and
yeah.
Whatever it's called. Do I need to write like a paragraph about that?
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow your pen?
Yeah,
I left mine in the
absolutely.
truck again.
And,
Would there be any signage for
Yes, I do have
the
mine.
places of interest
He's
along
got-
the trail as well, for the wildflower pollinator garden or the?
Clifford, we
sign
can't
about
hear
the
you just a
river?
minute. We've got to turn up your volume. And then we'll need
Okay.
you to, okay,
Okay,
say it again.
I was just asking if there was going to be any signage pertaining to some of the points of interest along the trail route, whether it be a sign about the river or a sign about the pollinator garden. Is there any
so
intention?
we are, not allowed any interpretive signage
Okay, that's right.
in this grant, just wayfinding.
Okay,
And there are certain criteria for the either ABA or ADA accessibility guidelines. I mean, they want mileage and some other information on the signs. So we need to take that into account since we're
Oh,
claiming we're
wow.
fully in compliance with those things.
But for the grant, do we just,
No, we'll
Okay.
just say,
so just a line.
they
about-
don't need to say, they don't need to see the signage now, but just say, you know, we're gonna have signage that's at the trailhead along the way, and it's gonna be in compliance with ABA and ADA.
Okay. Does this
and
also,
you leave the signs in kilometers too for the Canadians.
What did he say?
I said,
we didn't hear.
we'll leave the signs in in kilometers as well for the Canadians to make it fully accessible.
Oh, kilometers.
oh, do we need to include a kiosk or not? Is that all?
It's not saying, I don't know. Let's look at the ADA stuff and see. Let me read through that and see what it says.
Okay, all right.
Um,
And then I'll just, we need to mock something up for the, I need to mock something up, right? I have something for wayfinders already. I already
but
have.
we don't have to show them. It just says describe all new
Okay.
signage planned. It's not looking for what
Okay.
it's gonna look like yet.
Okay,
But let me just go back up to water trail access. When we talked about this before, Diana, I think you said,
I would say it does give access because
Mhm.
it gives people an opportunity to be close to the river and see the river, who could not otherwise do that.
so could you take that first half?
Okay, I'll work on the water access part.
Yeah,
Okay,
so Diana, water access. And Roland, you'll do the signage part.
yes.
Okay,
I mean, we could still submit in our PDF document a picture of what we have. I don't think that would hurt, but
I think it'd be good. I really
okay,
do,
okay.
because it shows we have given it some thought.
okay.
I think that's good.
Okay. Is there anything else on criterion 3? I don't think so. Criterion 4 is accessibility. And I'm doing that. There's a Georgia DNR accessibility form, which is, I think I finally understand. And the first thing is though, if your trail is designed with enhanced accessibility above what's required, you know, describe how it exceeds minimum expectations. And the big one is it's 6 feet wide. I mean, that's twice as wide as required.
Yeah, so that is.
Oh, good.
So I think the whole trail, you know, you can go side by side, you can pass people easily, you don't have to have pullouts and rest places and all that kind of stuff. So that's really the only difference I see. Although, yeah, so it's not an ADA thing. And Diana, you were gonna ask TPL, if their trailhead, oh, and it does connect already to the TPL's trail too.
Yes.
If their trailhead facilities are fully compliant with, now the form wants to know ABA, not ADA.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
we assume it is.
We assume it must be, but,
Yeah.
I
we
will
think
ask them, but I think
that
and
probably-
pretty sure it is.
even better, just, you know, a short statement saying that the trail they're building is designed to fully comply with that would be wonderful, that we could upload with our packet.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so long-term maintenance and management. So I think I said I would do this too, and I haven't done anything yet except think about it, but does our community have an approved trail maintenance plan? Well, we have a parks director.
That's our approved. plan.
And we have the city budgets funds for the trail maintenance and stuff, and we have a lot of volunteers that help. And I'm gonna say that the Parks Commission walks the trails and keeps an eye on things.
Yep.
So, and you know, the MBTA helps and we do some of the mowing
I-
and,
Do we mention that that MTB has an MOU with
yeah, I
the
think
city for maintenance, so.
for helping with trail maintenance, I think we
right,
should say
so
that.
They have a letter, right? Last time we talked about that, Robbie, were you waiting on a new letter, MOU? Or, yeah, or do we need an updated one?
No one terminates within 30 days, it continues.
Oh, okay, so we don't need it, okay.
That's normal.
We don't need to supply a copy of that with the grant, with the submission, right? That MOU,
Probably not.
okay.
I mean,
probably
if
not.
the city has it and we
Yeah.
say that.
Okay.
I can look, I'll look.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Okay, that would be great. And actually, we do have a resolution from the city saying that if we get the grant, they will commit to maintaining it for 25 years and keep it open to the public for 25
Yeah.
years. So we have that resolution passed, so that'll go in there too. Which is probably more powerful than anything.
So when you're 80 years old, Daryl, you'll be driving, you're pulling weeds.
I mean, but I think I was gonna say that we have a parks director who's also head of public works and public works personnel. Perform park maintenance, mowing and road improvements and things.
So you're gonna put that in?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll write something and then, you know, send it around for comment. Criterion 6, local support and regional needs. Diana, you said that you would have.
We have a lot. They want to know how this is a part of other plans for trails and river access are mentioned in the comprehensive plan. So we'll send that. It's part of the Riverlands plan. It's part of the Georgia Scenic Byway. It's part of the Chattahoochee Hill Country Regional Greenway Trails. So we'll send them maybe the cover of each of those different documents and tell them, and they want to know when were they approved. Anyway, I can do that.
Okay.
We got that.
And maybe if there's any like one page from each document to upload.
We'll do that.
Yeah, okay. So, I guess economic development opportunities, number 8. Diana and Clifford, that's something that I have you signed up for. Also, we know from national studies and surveys that trail-related trips provide economic benefits to local communities. What specific economic benefits can your community gain from this trail project? So, ecotourism, new hotels, I don't know. Whatever makes sense there.
I would think something about ecotourism because that's kind of what it is.
I mean, that's kind of this city and
Yeah.
Would the page I gave you out of the comprehensive plan, Diana, be relevant to this part? You know, the part where it was saying, I gave you that yesterday.
I've got that.
Yeah,
Let me go back and look at that. I thought we would use that in the previous question.
Okay.
6. But let me go back and look at it. Maybe it'll work for 8.
okay. Leverage of grant funds. Criterion 10. So leverage of grant funds, for now, we're just sticking with that the city's going to be 20%. Ten is recent recreational trails program grants. Okay, that's done. All they want is yes or no. They don't even want any details.
Okay, just say yes.
Yes.
You can't use 2 of them, only the 1, right? Because it's past.
It's actually, you're better off if you haven't had one recently.
Oh, okay.
I guess they don't want to give too much to any one place,
Okay.
is what it sounds like to me. Yeah, so. And then, Criterion 11. Trail surfaces that are finished with a pervious or semi-pervious surface. Reduce rainwater runoff and receive additional consideration. So more points. So are we decided on what our surface is gonna be? Do we need to talk about that?
I mean, I guess we could talk about it. I was also interested in what Daryl had to say. You saw what we were putting out there. I put some stuff on it. Of what you think about that surface
Oh, I like it.
from
I
a,
like it.
yeah, it seems to fit the bill. Once you pack it and I put some in it, it's almost like concrete, but it's still pervious completely, I guess. Yeah.
The only thing I see with that and going compared to concrete we looked at, because there is gonna be somewhat of maintenance, because you're gonna have to, it'll hold so much, but in time, rain, water settles.
Could
You'll
settle some of
probably
it.
either add to it, and then plus, I know it's got that barrier where grass can't grow through, but then you got grass centipede and stuff that grows across. So you either have to spray it or
put something on the
trim it,
edges.
trim it.
Trim it on the
Because
edges.
grass, it's always gonna grow across. With concrete, it's nothing
You're not gonna
that
have that.
pervious. But like I said, it's one of y'all's decisions.
So
what y'all
from a
think.
maintenance standpoint,
maintenance,
there's
that's
a
gonna be
little
more
more
than-
than
little
the
bit more.
concrete.
Except, wasn't Brad Jones, was it Brad who told you, Roland, that the pervious concrete, when it's not like actually a roadway, tends to fill up and have problems?
Yeah, he had mentioned it. They've used it on trails and he said the narrower the trails, the less surface there is, the more runoff you're gonna get. And that they had removed it, pervious concrete, from a list in water rights because of that for trails.
I
So,
wonder how wide it was. 6 foot wide, that's pretty wide.
yeah, 6 foot seems
6 foot, now
wide.
3 foot, a normal trail, I could see that.
But he did say when it's under cover, like trees and stuff, and it gets leaves on it, and
Mhm.
the silt gets in it, it has to be cleaned.
Yeah, we had to blow it off, that's.
Yeah, but we would do that probably. I don't know if we have to blow it or not, maybe.
Yeah, well, we got a blower that we blow.
Just
the
right.
Hose and stuff, that could go behind a tractor. Go across it.
Just
Around
right
the winter
around
time,
it.
blow it
Wow.
right off.
Wow.
That's why I bought that blower for the gravel roads and for trails or parkways. But it's like I said, it doesn't matter to me, but y'all decide either way.
Well,
Always
plus
pervious, wouldn't it?
we hopefully if we get to that point, we're looking at volunteers to do a lot of the maintenance on, which
Sure.
we do on the trails anyway. So we mow them when they're outside of the city's area that you take care of. We are already doing some of that, so we could make it part of it.
Yeah, the surface is like a really big thing. I mean, for doing the cost calculations and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
if we could decide tonight what we really feel we want to go with, I don't know, does everybody feel ready for that?
Can we compare the costs or do we not
I
have enough
do have that,
information?
and I posted a spreadsheet in the
And does that include all the costs? In other words, is the prep the same for both
no,
surfaces?
because with concrete, you have to build a form and you have to screed it, right? It has, the labor part's gonna probably be more, but.
And that's not included, right?
Well, I didn't include because it didn't have, I don't know how much concrete, let's say per yard, what labor is to pour a 4-inch slab, I don't have a cost comparison for that. I didn't have one. So I was guessing that you would add 20% probably for labor and forms to it. That's a guess. But in that sheet I do have the cost that Daryl put, and I figured it out for the whole mile.
So I have your sheet. It was for a mile with the permeable concrete, it was 68,000.
That's
Let's- Just the materials,
yeah,
68,000, and I'm gonna say $500.
yeah.
For this core grid, it was $88,700. So
And that's
20.
that is their cost, and that doesn't include the aggregate, and so it's probably gonna be about the same for the
This
concrete.
doesn't include the aggregate, the 88,000?
Because we weren't sure yet if we were gonna end up getting the aggregate in kind.
Well,
So-
it should still be included, I
Yeah,
think.
right.
Yeah,
It
I
just-
just don't have it in there. I have it included in, if you look in the cost breakdown, it's in the labor part. There's another part. I think I put
The
a note.
aggregates and the labor form?
Yeah, I put it in there
Oh, okay.
and on the sheet.
Oh, okay.
But I could, if we need to do the, since we weren't gonna submit both of them, we're only submitting one. I assumed that we would want to submit the higher cost one for the grant. Because if we go with that, that would make more sense.
What I would do
Mhm.
is I would just say $100,000,
Okay,
just put that down there. And then if it's under, you're under. So whatever material, if you change your mind halfway through or something else comes up or somebody does research, you can change your mind. They're not gonna hold you to what exactly you said. They're gonna give you a number.
That's
And then
true.
what you decide on. That's what I would do. Now, I'm saying 100, if the numbers that you've given, now I haven't done any calculations, so I'm
Mhm.
just going by what Roland suggested. Cause if the concrete was about 175, I said,
175 a
I
square
would be
yard.
comfortable saying 275.
Yep.
That would be everything.
That would cover all
okay,
of
That's what I
so
would be comfortable saying with a estimated guess.
Okay.
275 a cubic yard,
Yep, that's what I was. If
$2.75.
Mm,
Usually when you
No.
do frame a house, if it costs $2,
200.
you add $2 more for labor.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
Chris?
right. So we
Yeah,
need
it's
to figure
20
labor is as
20%.
much.
So
as
that's what I
materials.
would guess, if you could take the number that that
Yeah, I
Roland
can
gave
figure
you,
it out.
the
Okay.
175 what is,
Yeah.
and go 275 instead of 175, give you that number, and I would round it up if, I don't know what it is,
Okay,
but if it's 89 or somewhere, in there, I just jump up to 100.
Mhm.
If you're under, you're under.
right,
And if they give you $100,000, you got a little cushion that you can add a bridge.
okay,
or
okay,
a little wider turn.
Yeah, that's true.
okay.
Extra material that you might not.
But we're gonna have to decide anyway, because we have to fill out this section that says, are you pervious? Is your material pervious?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, no
Yeah.
matter what you do, it will be perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
either
we're-
way, okay, either way.
Either way, whatever we decide,
Yes.
it's gonna be the same.
All right, all
It's
right,
just a matter of putting the cost. I did in the cost sheet, the first sheet I sent, there's two, is the real cost, like down to the dollars for both. The final one, it's rounded up.
oh,
with
all right,
Labor in there.
all right,
If you look at that sheet,
Mhm.
and that's probably what Daryl's talking about. I rounded it up to include the labor, because you can't be exact, like
No, that's
2
right.
years down the road,
no,
there's no way to
no,
know.
no,
But,
Yeah.
okay,
you don't know
okay,
if it's gonna be exactly a mile. I mean, you don't,
No,
they might shift, when you build the trail, you might have to adjust. Might be a
Yeah.
little more, a little less.
could be, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yep, so you have to kind of
Ed-
figure it.
Educate a guess.
And they're also, they're kind of clear in that,
Yes.
you can't be until you get, and once you get the grant, then you get your quotes. then
Right.
you get,
right,
Then you submit that,
okay,
so, and then we have to do 3, right? 3 quotes, if we
Mhm.
were to, yeah,
We will.
right,
anything over $25,000
you'd have to get 3,
it requires bids, yep,
yeah. So the material probably wouldn't be included in that, but the labor would, so.
okay. All right.
Do you want me to refine that between now and?
First, I want to sit down with you and just
Okay.
sort of go over it and,
Yeah, we
yeah,
can
and we'll
do
take
that.
it from
Yeah.
there, yeah. Okay, that's good. So we're well on our way with that.
Yeah, and I did ask the advice of the vendor. She helped me figure out the cost analysis between the two materials. She had some pointers on doing
Oh,
that
good.
because they do that.
Okay,
So I'll share that with you too. what
Okay.
She said, so,
So does the vendor provide both? They could do either one?
yes, this company does both.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
Good.
they do
That's great.
both, so yeah,
Oh,
so,
excellent.
yeah. It's a Canadian company, but they have a US operation, so and they sell all over, so
all right, great.
they just want to sell their product. So, yeah,
All right, so that's all the criteria. And then there's attachments. And there's a pre-application authorization letter, we have that.
Mhm.
Photos of the site, we have that. And and it says photos of the site. I think they want big photos.
okay, what I'll do then,
But you can use this site key,
yeah, we'll use that for the key and then we'll have
just,
5 pages.
right,
on top of
exactly.
that. What I can do, I'll make a rough PDF of everything with holders in it and I'll send that out or put it in the Dropbox
Okay,
before, our meeting. for the format, if you want.
Yeah,
I mean, like a space for the spreadsheet, for the cost, the letters. all
oh,
that.
so we're gonna have individual uploads for a lot of this. So we want one, we don't want the whole thing as a PDF.
Oh, we did, Diana submitted the whole thing as one PDF.
No, but
before,
I have
you
to
don't Want to do that?
No,
Well,
it
it's
says
different this year.
this
Oh,
is
is it?
different.
Oh,
It's
they
like
changed it.
upload here, upload
Okay.
here. But each thing you upload, if it's multi-page, it should be one document. So
Okay.
you should have like the site key and 5 photos as one PDF
Okay.
document. And then, the mayor's letter, that's another PDF document. So each thing is like that. So you don't have to put the whole thing together.
Oh, I thought you were doing it like we did before.
No.
Okay, all right.
We printed everything and mailed. That was their
Oh,
procedure. And
okay.
now everything's online.
Okay,
So
so
it's
we
all
don't have to
different.
have a book.
That's right.
Okay.
We won't have a book.
And then there's a project location map, which is basically just so that people from the Georgia DNR can find it.
Well, that.
So you can do that.
Well, that map. is-
Well, no, they want the roads and everything.
I think that's in there. What you want more? Oh, you want like a big.
Well,
way out map? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
I-
Instead of an address. Okay.
Well, we have the address, but I don't have it in front of me, but there's something in the grant manual that says what they're looking for. But it sounds like something you'd print from Google Maps.
Yeah, I'll do something.
It's,
Do you want me to make it part of this same document?
no, a separate document,
Okay.
because it's a
Alright.
separate upload.
Are you penning in down?
Oh.
Sorry. Next time I'm.
So we're under attachments now.
Okay.
Then we need a copy of the deed showing that the city owns it. And a copy of the plat and parcel map. Which I've asked Mike Morton if he could provide those, but I haven't heard back.
Well, now the TPL documents I have, which I got from
It-
Robbie.
Has it in
has-
there?
It is the plat because it has the property lines, the markers. Is that that should be the same?
But it has
right?
to have all the legal verbiage.
I think it does.
Okay.
I'll double check. it.
Okay.
I mean, it
I
has.
mean, if they have that and a copy of the deed, then we're
I
done.
don't have the deed, but
I think I can get the deed.
You can get the deed.
yay. thank
So Mike said that the plat, parcel map and legal description were part of the deed. If that's true,
Oh,
then,
okay.
then we're done. So, okay, Dana, that would be
I think-
super.
Yeah, I think I have it. If not, I'll get with Mike.
Thank you. Yay.
That would be great help. So another attachment is the detailed site plan, concept plan, which we have. I mean, I'm just saying the uploads now.
Okay.
And the cost estimates and upload. And then Diana, you're working on the environmental review form.
I'm working on it.
And that's it, but it's still a lot. But if we could have this pretty much done by the 20th, that would be super when we meet.
Yeah.
And does anybody have anything they want to say on the topic?
If anybody wants some help with any of the missing documents, I mean, I can help. I don't
Thank
know
you.
what else.
Um,
I think you're all covered, so Chris, right?
Yes,
I had one question.
I'll let you know.
I know, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I know at one point there's been a discussion of the fact that we have Community Brickworks on board to help with this, with the donations. Do we need any sort of evidence of that now? Because I've been working with Thomas to try to get some sort of commitment from the Serenity Arts, folks. Art
Cliffy,
Farm.
that would be really helpful, and we don't have anything in writing yet, but we are optimistic that we will get something from Community Brickworks.
Okay.
And do you feel like you can get something from the art farm?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas was gonna reach out was gonna meet with them to talk about it, and I need to try to get back to Thomas and find out what the status of that is, but I've been
Okay.
working with him on it.
Okay, that sounds great.
And Diana, were you gonna talk to, you said you knew somebody at the quarry?
Yes, and I know somebody who knows somebody,
Oh, okay,
and so I have a name.
okay.
I have a name and a phone number, and I've called and I haven't
Okay.
heard
If we
from them
don't, I
yet,
mean,
but I will
Okay.
do that. And I'm curious about where Chattahoochee Hills gets its aggregate. Where do you get your gravel? You know?
Corey is. Several.
So it could be any, okay. The contact I have is with Vulcan,
Mhm,
which
that's
I
right.
think is a
That
really
is-
close one,
they-
and I'm hoping
they
they might
own-
be, want to help
Vulcan owns
us.
several, Corey.
Oh, they do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's where
Oh,
we
I
get all
didn't
of it.
realize that, but I knew they were a national company
Mhm.
all
Yeah,
over.
there, we got several here that I think
Okay.
we have 3 that we buy from.
So we do buy
Yes, ma'am.
from
From
Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Okay, that's
We don't
good.
have a contract, but we have a trucking company that we use that has a contract.
Oh, okay.
That gives us a good rate
Oh.
because we use them every year.
And what's the trucking company?
Travis Hill Trucking,
Travis?
Travis Hill Trucking,
Is that 2
Spell it-
words?
Spell it.
Travis, Travis, Hill, Hill.
Okay.
Can't get past my country, can you?
Hey, I understood it.
Travis Hill.
Yeah.
You quit laughing over, it, ain't that funny? Thank you, buddy.
Okay, that helps. I can use that. We're already buying a lot of our
Yeah, we
aggregate
buy-
from
that's-
them,
That's
and
all.
will they help us with this trail?
Of course they will.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Of
Great.
course, I like that.
Super.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
A couple of, hey, it works. My voice, I mean, not the mic. Got a couple of scout groups at the nature center I've talked to. Said they offer some letters saying they'd help volunteer when the time comes.
That'd be great.
I ain't got them in hand yet,
That's great.
but they did say they would get it to me.
That's great. Thank you, Chip. And, you know, if we go with the aggregate, there probably will be a lot that volunteers could do, right?
if we,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Like spreading the
Oh, yeah.
aggregate.
Mhm.
Yep, absolutely.
And maybe
Spreading.
even helping put the grid down.
Yep,
Mhm,
it's a lot of handwork.
mhm.
That'd be cool.
If we go with the grid, go with concrete, no. 'cause it
No.
would be a contractor that would do that.
Oh, y'all, so you're not getting quotes from somebody installed?
Oh, I am,
Oh.
but on top of that, if there's people like the Boy Scout troops can volunteer to help. And it
Yeah,
helps us, so, you know,
yeah,
on top
I
of,
wouldn't think that they would volunteer to help that part of it.
No.
Because if a company comes in, now maybe clearing and getting the trail ready, but as
Yeah.
they're doing that,
pulling roots and
yeah.
we've
yeah.
done that
They just
over,
want that on the grant application.
And
yeah.
four,
we've done that at other parks. you know.
sold.
Yeah, yeah, things like clearing roots, clipping once they've scraped, you know, then you have to come back and hand pull things, grass and roots and stuff, so that's perfect for volunteers to do.
All right, well, 22 days.
Thank you to everybody.
And
Thank
then,
you.
we'll have a
Thanks.
celebration.
So much, there's so much work that's already been done, and I really appreciate everyone working on this. Oh, back to me. Okay, next item then on the agenda is trail maintenance, and Roland is gonna lead that discussion.
Trying to remember, was that trail maintenance for just? what's
That
going-
was just a general, you know, the city needs to really think about how
Oh,
much work
thank you.
has to be done in the parks, because we have so many parks now. And
Yeah, and then once these 2 parks open, it's gonna add more trail maintenance and right as it stands, I mean, the city would do the, you know, the upfront stuff, you know, make sure the trash is emptied in the bathrooms and mow the parking lots, things, but once you leave that area, we would end up having to have new volunteer groups
Yep.
or somebody, you know, to do trail maintenance.
so we're thinking that, because we have so many new parks and there's so much more work, that maybe the city should consider hiring more people to help do that.
Mhm.
I think we have the same number of people working in public works and parks that we had before, like 5 years ago, before we had Riverlands Park.
Yep.
And before Campbellton Park was open. And so there's just more and more work involved. And has the city thought about this?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Robbie and I had talked about that. So maybe we'll work, so,
Yeah,
Okay.
but they understand the need.
Okay, and you know, one of the things we've learned lately is that if we've got good equipment, it doesn't take so many people to get stuff done, like that new mower we got for us. I mean, that can do, you know, what 12 volunteers working out there with clippers and swing blades could
Yes,
do,
ma'am.
it can
Oh,
do
yeah.
with one person.
Yes, ma'am.
And so if the city would not only provide more personnel, but also more equipment to
Course,
help,
Of course.
that'd be a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So you
Yeah.
and Robbie are working on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other comments about that?
Thank you.
Okay,
Mm.
thank you, Roland.
Mm.
All right, and then the next item is possible outfitter for Campbellton Park.
Yeah, and I know we talked about this before about down the road, once these two parks are open, since we're talking about a river, you know, like access. That an outfitter set up at either park, you know, is that a possibility? You know, of course, it would have to work with the city to do it, but, you know, thinking about, you know, in a year when these two parks open, there's gonna be a need for that. So,
What is outfitter?
It would-
Oh,
oh, yeah, it would be like, you know, like for canoe trips, that
Okay.
outfitters that set up, you know, like say at the garage.
You ever been to Helen before?
Yes.
They get the tubes.
Yeah,
perfect
Fans.
example.
Tubes, canoes,
what it's called.
kayaks, and then they lead tours, they might, you know.
Okay, got
So
it.
Yeah,
they-
they'll
Like a
have,
tour guide or whatever.
Yep.
yeah,
I know exactly what
they'll
you're saying,
drop
like
off
Helen.
your
Yeah.
boats, pick you up at the inn and come back and park. So, and there are, the only outfitters are between here, Atlanta, there's one, Whitesburg, I think there's one. There's no other ones all the way to Atlanta. You have to go to the north side to find an outfitter.
So the advantage would be just make it easy for people to
Oh, yeah.
enjoy the river. They don't have to have their own kayak. They can rent one for a day. Somebody will put them in the river and pick them up in the kayak when they're ready to get out. Yeah, Chip.
Is that gonna have to, can they make enough profit
Well, that's,
for the city?
Well,
won't have
yeah, and that would be
to
their,
and that's definitely a concern, you know, when they're getting started and people don't know much about it, then maybe they won't be making a lot. You know, maybe we can reach out to some of the established outfitters
Mhm.
That was my
and
question.
learn from them. What would it take for this to be attractive for you to come down here? And provide the service.
What
and
about
the,
Lewisburg? You familiar with them?
yeah, there have been a few down there. I think the one that we actually did a trip down there with an outfitter about 5 years ago.
They're not getting subsidized though.
No.
They're
No,
strictly-
nobody would be, no, we're not talking about subsidizing. We're just talking about a private outfitter that would
Yeah,
be able to use, I'm just throwing this out, like the garage at Campbellton Park, right? It's a modern, fairly modern building. It's not in the best shape, but it could be an outfitter. It's not a historical building. It doesn't have to have, you know. So it's basically outfitter site would be a storage place for their equipment.
well, what I'm getting at is,
Yeah.
can they stand alone as a business without us helping them with the place? Or do we charge them rent?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I
we
think
would
we would,
charge them rent.
well, I think we would have to help them get started.
I'm thinking-
When I applied for the last grant, I did a lot of research and Porterdale had put in a water trail, water access. They had gotten an RTP grant to do it. So I went down and talked to them and they provided a place for the outfitter because they felt that it helped their community, it attracted visitors, and it did. And this outfitter got so successful that not only did they provide that sort of the things that people could rent, but also they sold kayaks. Somebody in our area might also provide bicycles since that's so popular here. You know, they might rent bicycles for people to ride. And they might have a shop that bicyclists would like to use to buy whatever equipment they need. Anyway,
So you know, there is a bicycle shop in Sarandon.
there is.
Yeah.
That rents and stuff.
There
Yeah.
is. And I think he does really well.
I wonder if he'd want to get into watercraft.
That'd be cool because he's been very successful. So,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
he would be interested. That'd be very
What's his
cool.
last name?
Uh,
Glenn's.
Dobson.
Yeah.
Glenn,
I don't know his last name. Glenn's his first name for sure.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if he'd be interested, but someone like that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If I see
And
him,
so-
if I see him, do you want me to ask him?
Well,
Or-
I know him pretty well.
Oh,
I
you-
can
okay.
always ask him. Yeah, I buy stuff over there, so,
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
yeah. So,
Okay.
so ask him, what would it take for you to be interested
okay,
in having a business like this?
okay.
And find out, and that'll help us
Yeah.
know,
And
what an outfitter would need.
yeah, and part of this also, and I forgot to, about and it was part of the trail maintenance and that, I think we talked about this before too. That, while the TPL is still developing, is that me?
It's number 4. It's that micro.
Oh, okay, number 4.
Pass. It's not your fault. No, you don't have to touch nothing.
Okay.
Nothing nothing anybody can do. Got a bad
There's nothing.
cable back there.
All right, so, about, there's a national network of typically retired people that, have RVs that are caretakers at parks.
Camp
And
host.
you know what I'm talking about?
Call it camp host.
Yeah, camp host. Is there a possibility to think about doing that at Riverlands and Camden Park? Which would eliminate a huge part of city maintenance. I mean, it's like free maintenance because they're caretakers. They empty the trash, they clean the bathrooms, they mow.
Supposed to.
They're supposed to.
They do have them at Tanner's and it's,
It's okay.
you have good ones
You have good ones and,
and then you have some that's not so good.
yeah.
Is it worth considering?
Is
or-
it?
Or
Yeah.
not worth the trouble?
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I've never, I had, the whole time I was there, we didn't have very good success.
Oh,
'Cause you
yeah.
have some good and some bad and then you have to rotation and then they don't make it, and you can't, it's,
Oh, so it's
a lot
not
more.
necessarily.
but if we're gonna close at dusk anyway.
Well, see, then if it's water, you can't close at dusk, can you?
Yeah.
Like down at Campbellton, you can
We
close
can't
it.
because we have an agreement with DNR and they built boat ramp. Other than that, you can close.
You can.
Well, hopefully Riverlands, we're gonna close it dusk.
Oh, okay. You're saying, I didn't understand. You're gonna close it at dusk,
But they would be
Yes.
And
closed.
open at dawn.
right?
So people
right.
inside that camped overnight would be just same as at
It'd be
Copper Mills.
Same as Cocker Mill.
Okay.
Same as Cocker.
Oh.
No, that sounds good. You want to do that?
Yeah, like even the police department recommended that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We wanted to do the boat ramp, but the contract with DNR, we wasn't allowed to, so.
that's
Mhm.
because somebody's stuck.
And plus
out.
we can't charge for
Yeah.
parking there as well for so many years.
Yeah. So,
That's a good, it's a good trade. Nice boat ramp.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
absolutely right, Joe.
yeah, so that's just something I wanted to throw out there about the,
Well, I mean, it would not only be our parks, but they could go to, what is it, Mac? There, like, I mean, there's all the things on the water trail that
mhm,
somebody might be interested in servicing. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's it.
All right. We have no items for consideration. So next are commission member comments and suggestions. Does anyone have anything? Roland? Pat? Anything else? Chip? Chris? Okay, I don't have anything either. Staff reports, Dana Witcher.
Okay, I handed out the financials through the end of September. So everybody should have a copy of that. As you can see, the annual parking passes down a little bit, about 200.
Get number 4, Robbie.
Hello.
Famous.
So the annual parking passes down about 200. The daily parking for cash at the kiosk is down about 400, but overall, or the credit cards for the kiosk are up, and overall we're up a little bit at $27,066 compared to 24, a little over 24 last year. Still no campers, which I'm surprised about that. Yeah. So overall, Parks Revenue, we're at that $27,066. Decals are down a little bit from this time last year. but pretty much in line at 536 resident and 592 non-resident. Another thing that I was going to mention, which Diana spoke about, I think right before the meeting started, the 2024 decals have been ordered. They're going to be orange, and we'll have them available hopefully within the next week or so. So when folks come to do early voting, or certainly on election day, they can pick up their parking decals.
That's great. Thank you, Dana. One thing we were going to talk about, Roland, that we forgot was, does the city want to charge parking at Riverlands Park? Do we want to expect that they either have a parking pass or that they pay $5? And if so, do we have to get another kiosk, or is there some way they can pay online without a kiosk?
We need to get another kiosk and put there as well. And it should be, all the parks are set one park pass into the
It's
park.
good
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's good anywhere. And then the $5, and then if you're overnight, that'd have to be through the city for the camping.
Yeah, and how would that work if you're not, because the camping in those parks is gonna be people on the water, not
Well,
driving there.
We're
gonna need to
So-
figure that out.
Yeah, that's a tough one, yeah.
Once we get to there, we still got a good long ways, but that's something we're gonna have to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
So they need to be the same thing that what we do in other parks. We definitely need, that'll have to be before mayor and council for a vote to charge for parking, right?
yeah, whether we
Um,
do charge at
probably
Riverland.
so, because I think our ordinance is specific about Cockramill and
Hutchison
Hutchison
Ferry.
Ferry. I
I
think
Yeah,
know
that's
we
a
did
fair,
put
we
them in
don't,
Hutchison
we
Ferry.
don't charge
So we
there.
need to
Right.
bring that before council.
probably so. And just the way the primitive camping works now, all that has to be done ahead of time, like
know.
during
But if
city
you're
hall
on,
business
if you're on a
hours.
river trail.
Right,
And it's kind of, it's kind of not, it's loose. It's not like a
Right.
tight plan, it's like you just stop and overnight.
Well,
It's gonna be tricky to figure out
Well-
how to publicize that because people coming from way away.
Right.
well, the thing is when you open the park, people will be looking, they won't know the park. That's what,
Mhm.
that's the information we'll pass out. That this is, you have to, if you're
Mhm.
gonna stay here, you need to pre.
Right.
So,
And
so
just
it
show
could
up
be
and-
on a website and
Well,
just
that's
like,
why we talked about, is there a way to, looking forward a full year before this takes place? Is there a way to get this more digital where it's on, where the pay is on a website where you don't have to go separately to pay for, you have the option to do online and pay,
A whole lot more.
Yeah.
you
I mean, the paying
Well, it's
part is the
automated,
easy
I would
part.
say.
It's more the reservations. How do you know when it's full and that sort of thing?
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think our website has any capability of doing that.
No.
So it
But
would,
is it something that we could look into getting a company that already does that? Like somebody that does it for this, I know the state parks, right? They don't do it themselves either. They have a vendor that
right,
when you go to the park, like say if I go to Sweetwater to park, I go online and it takes you to a single place to pay for that spot.
You can be, that can be done through the kiosk.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
they can go to the kiosk and they can do software where they have to pay. And then when somebody goes and checks, just like a PD, when they ride through,
Mhm.
they'll get a park pass,
Mhm.
camp pass. And they'll be using it. They can come in anytime, like you said. But all that'll be set up in the kiosk. It'll take so much away from them that they won't have to do.
Oh, no, and when I said online, I was thinking like, like if I go to any state park, it is all automated. No person has to actually do anything. The reservations are online. It automatically knows,
Right.
how many people are already there, what's available.
That'll be a conflict because if somebody does that and then you go to kiosk and want to pay, if somebody just shows up. So
Right.
it needs to be done on the kiosk.
Yeah.
Cause
Well, it's right now, it's not done that way at Cochrane Mill
Yeah.
because the camping is completely kind of manual.
Yep, that's right. They
Right,
come here
yeah.
before 5 o'clock.
Right.
and they
Right.
run. And that process is working
Right.
because we know it's not people just showing up off the river.
Mhm.
But this needs to be done through the kiosk. That's the way it needs to be done.
So when they show up, they do it, or they can do it ahead?
Well,
Yeah,
they'd have to be
they'll
able to
have
do it
to, yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
They'll have to.
They have to know if there's somebody's already got
Yeah.
all the spots. I mean, you wouldn't know.
Because when you're coming by the river, you don't have any way, you don't have any second choice,
But
you
the
know?
thing is, when you're right, your river anyway, you'd probably plan your trip anyway, if you're gonna. this is a new park.
Oh,
So all of a sudden, there's no, you go up there's not camping, you gotta keep paddling to the next spot. So, I mean, 5 hours.
I mean, I think we need to probably see if other places that are doing this water trail and camping,
Yeah.
even somewhere else in the country.
well, I
how
know,
it's
I
what
know
the
Florida
state
does
does.
in the Everglades. You
Yeah.
can do a, like a multi-day.
We can
Yeah.
do it on the
And
Yellow River. too.
Macintosh is the
With-
same
Yeah.
way. Macintosh,
And-
they close, it does, and open it, they're like, and they camp down there, they have to go through just like they go to the gate where the ranger is, and they have to, because the river's a long ways from the main entrance, if you ever been there.
Yeah.
So they have to go, there's no kiosk, there's no way to know when. They call, if they come in after 5 o'clock and everybody's closed, they don't know. If there's camping, they do. If there's not, they don't. They have to keep moving. So,
Mm.
I mean, I've certainly camped at, not water trail, but camped at places where there's, a drop box, fill out the envelope and drop box
Yeah.
sort of thing.
where
So,
campers
I
used to
don't-
be.
Yeah, and it's still like that at some of the state parks, you can do both. They have where you fill out the little thing with your tag, even if you paid online, you fill it out and punch it.
Mhm.
So I've been to state parks
Yeah.
like that, but I guess what I was saying was the state has a network already of a vendor. And I don't know if it's worth, does the state have a program that offers cities, other parks to join their system for reservations and managing it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what further complicates this is that I
Yeah.
guess it's 4 different sites and 2 of them are in our city, but one of them is Buzzard's Roost.
Mhm.
I'm not sure who owns
The
Buzzard's
City of
Roost.
Atlanta owns.
Atlanta,
City of
okay,
Atlanta
and then the
owns
other
that.
one is it Macintosh? I think it's Macintosh.
Macintosh
Isn't
is
that
part
the
of it,
so.
one?
part of the
Yeah,
same.
so
part of
that's
the
Carroll
TPL, the
County.
whole thing.
So, if you're planning a camp and paddle trip, right?
Mhm.
And you're gonna be at one of these places each night, you probably want to make your reservations ahead of time, but how do you do that if it's 3
Right.
different municipalities controlling it?
Yeah, there's no way we can overlap with the state.
Mhm.
I have
Or,
a question. Are we making this too complicated?
that's right.
Well, we have to.
We
realize,
just
like,
need
are
to
we
let
making
it be
this too
done by the
complicated?
kiosk, just like the parking. Like I say this all the time about parking. You pull up at Walmart and the parking lot's full, you have to come back later.
Yeah.
If you go to McDonald's, this is where we need to treat these parks the same way. Quit making parking lots and parking lots. Then all you got parking lots. Put it in the kiosk. When people show up and walk up there, the campgrounds are full, we can't stay.
There you go.
If it's
Well-
open, you got a kiosk, you put it in and pay for camping, make it simple.
Except if you're paddling
6.
and it's dusk and you've just traveled
you're
8
out.
hours and you've got to go another 9 to the other spot because there's no.
I'd go up in a pavilion and make
Yeah.
it pallets.
Yeah,
I believe that'll happen.
Think about the
it's 6
possibilities
hours
that
between
could
Hamilton
happen,
and,
But the
yeah. it's a long
minuscule
way.
is very, very small.
Well,
I mean, that's what I'm
initially, but if it gets really popular
Then
down
we
the
have to
Well,
road,
it's the
yeah,
first
yeah.
full water trail in our state, so it's going to at some point become popular because people are like, wow. I didn't know you could do that, and then you're gonna get more and more people.
Well, like I said,
Camp.
we can talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, we have
Later,
a
we got a
year,
whole year.
so it's
don't
just
be
kind
the
of
whole
bringing
day.
the idea that Diana reminded me was just to bring it up and,
That's good.
and at least so we talking about it ahead of time.
And so we can research and see how other
Yeah,
places
and the
do it.
TPL might have ideas on that too. I'm sure they've thought about it as well, about what to do, and how to do it. I know that if you go on the Flint River, there's camping on the Flint and it's the same thing, but I don't know how they handle reserving those spots.
There is camping on the Flint. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And there's outfitters and everything that handle it. So there's places to stay
I'll see
overnight.
if I can find out.
Yeah, maybe find
Because
out.
I know people who are part of Flint River Creek, so
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
Yeah, that might help.
All right, last thing, Daryl Windlet, staff reports.
All right, real quick. Update on the marking, trail markers, Cockermouth Park. Fire department has personally personnel has placed additional colored markers on all trails at midpoint between existing markers to reduce marker intervals and increase hikers' awareness. East
Yay.
Green trail completed. Orange trail, 1/2 completed from Fork at Green Trail. West side of the park, yellow trail most distant western portion completed. Southernmost portion to be completed week of October 16th. Red trail completed.
Wow,
That's
That's
great.
fabulous.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So which markers are these?
The
The
plastic
diamonds?
Oh, the diamonds on the
diamonds,
trees. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Now, did he mention that when they're gonna do the numbering or if they're gonna? No mention yet.
That's where we're on that, that's what we did. I can get more information.
No worries.
Anything
Sounds
else?
good.
No, ma'am.
That's it. All right. I think we're ready to adjourn. Can I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Bye.
Opposed, nay. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
See you, Clifford.
Thank you.
Bye, Cliff.
Bye, Clifford. There he is.
And Roland, I'll let you know if I need some assistance as I.
Oh, yeah,
dive
let me
into
know.
this
I'll be
later
glad
on
to
tonight.
help anyone that needs help.